At the time of recording this video, we are nearing the end of the Fate Samurai Remnant collab event, or at the time of watching this video, maybe it's already over. And if you guys saw my initial reaction to the event when it first came out, or if you've just been watching my channel for a while, then you should already know two things. I love Fate Samurai Remnant, and I was very excited for the collaboration event. But now that the hype has kind of died down, now that we're pretty much at the end of the event, like I said, it's time to reflect back and ask myself and ask you guys, was the event a disappointment? Was it a flop? However you want to word it. Because certainly there were expectations that were not met. There were no costumes. Unfortunately, like the easiest one would have been Musashi's costume from Remnant, which yes, they gave in the form of a craft essence, but obviously we want to see it be playable. And the same thing could be said about Gilgamesh. You know, he could have had his boss costume, which yes, he's in the shop, which is at bare minimum what I wanted, but I also wanted to see him rock the costume. OG Gilgamesh doesn't have a costume, which just doesn't make sense in my head. He's one of the OGs. He's one of the founding fathers of Fate Stay Night, and they just celebrated the 20th anniversary. It just doesn't make sense that he doesn't have a costume still at this point. Then when you combine that with the fact that there's no part 2 or part 3 banner with newer servants, like for example, most people were expecting a Tamamo Aria for the part 1 banner, and then when Uchigozen was revealed to be part 1 banner, myself included, I was like, yeah, no guys, chill. Maybe Tamamo Aria will be part 2, part 3 banner, who knows? Instead, we didn't get really anyone new for part 2 or part 3 banner. We got the returning Berserker Musashi, who yes, I am about to roll for, so I guess their marketing scheme worked. I do want a 6 copy of Berserker Musashi, as well as more copies of Yui Shosetsu and the 5-star CE, but that's neither here nor there. And then when you look at the event mechanically, a lot of people were annoyed by the gameplay, by the mechanics of the event, because they tried to mimic how the gameplay of Fate Samurai Remnant was, where there's a lot of enemies and then you got to fight them all at the same time. But that doesn't really work in a game like this, because when you're fighting a lot of enemies, you would want an AoE servant at least. But there were a lot of situations throughout the event where they would throw a crap ton of enemies and then you're forced to use a single target, or they limit the way you could utilize your team, or maybe the enemies have invincibility or evade. There were a lot of situations like that, and a lot of people were annoyed about it. As far as that goes, when I go into these type of events, mission type events, I've said this for years now, I hate mission based events. I don't like events that have 100 missions where a good chunk of them is fight this enemy 20 times, go to this map 15 times. It's just annoying. It's repetitious, and yes, every event to an extent is very repetitious, but for me, mission based events are the worst kind, and that's just my opinion. That's just something that I felt since the very beginning of the game, since the very first mission-based event. I just hate them all. So like, I went into this event, I was like, okay, it's a mission-based event. All right, let me just look for things I like rather than things I dislike. So when it comes to the gameplay and mechanics of the event, yeah, I agree. It was very annoying, but again, I go into all these mission-based events not liking it already. As far as, in my opinion, the most important part when it comes to these events, the story and the characters, I can't really speak on that because obviously I'm an English speaker, so my knowledge of the characters and the story is limited to what people say online, what people translate online. But from what I can tell, it looks like the story was pretty good. It looks to be related to Ordeal Call in some way, which is interesting that they do that, which is exciting, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, I'm not going to say I agree, but I do understand why a lot of people were disappointed. For me, bare minimum that I wanted to see in the event, which is why I'm not that disappointed, was I wanted to see Yori be the free servant, which was the obvious choice. And I wanted to see Gil at least be in the shop, because he is the shopkeeper in Samurai Remnant, so it makes sense if he's a shopkeeper in the event shop for the collaboration event, which they did. So at least for me, they did the bare minimum, which in some ways you guys could argue that is not necessarily a good thing, but if I'm gonna look at the glass half full, I would say that's a good thing, because they did meet my expectations to an extent. But again, I do understand, you know, the lack of Tamamo Aria or any new other servants besides Yui and Uchigozen, I guess by extension Iori. That does suck. No costumes to me. It's probably the biggest disappointment. No costumes, what the hell? So let me know, guys, your overall thoughts on the Fate Samurai Remnant event. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Were you disappointed? Which I assume most people probably were. Was it a flop? Maybe that's going a bit too far, but still. I actually think they made good money, if I'm not mistaken, with Uchigozen. So I would say it's probably not a flop from a business standpoint, but maybe from a fan perspective, maybe. I don't know. I will say this though, going forward, I am a little bit worried about how they're gonna do the milestone campaigns, aka New Year's and Anniversary. Because in hindsight, back in Anniversary, this past Anniversary, we got pretty much a summer servant with in the form of Morgan. And then this past New Year's, we got Yamato Takeru, who's obviously a Fate Samurai Remnant character. In both those cases, they could have saved those characters, both Summer Morgan and Yamato Takeru for a part 2 or part 3 banner for their respective events, which literally dropped weeks after their debut in the game. Like in some ways, Summer Morgan didn't have to be the anniversary servant, and in some ways, Yamato Takeru didn't need to be the New Year servant. That could have been reserved for brand new characters, you know, servants that are not tied to an event. So I'm a little bit worried what they're gonna do for this year's anniversary, if they're gonna tie anniversary to summer again or tie it to an event that probably they shouldn't be tied to. It really depends though. It really does depend, because I know a lot of people were happy to see Summer Morgan for anniversary, myself included, and I was very happy to see Yamato Takeru in New Year's. But obviously that's just bias talking. There might be a character that might come out in anniversary or New Year's where I'm gonna be like, I don't know if they should be the anniversary or they should be the New Year's servant. You know what I mean? But enough talking. I am going to be rolling for another copy of Berserker Musashi, of Summer Musashi, because I do have her NP5, but I do want more copies of the 5-star CE. And fun fact, I never had 10 or more unregistered Spirit Origins, and currently I only have 9, and I'm close to 10. And if I get a 6 copy of Musashi here, she'll give me my 10th unregistered Spirit Origin, which, if you are not aware, you could trade 10 for any servant you want, including limited servants, as long as they're rated up, essentially giving me a free ticket to any 5-star of my choosing, as long, you know, they have a rate up. So why not get my 10th copy of Uso while Musashi is up? Because again, it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or I guess in this case 3 birds with 1 stone, because I do want more copies of Yui Shosetsu. I do have her MP5, but more for more servant coins, so I could append her skills, obviously. I could get more copies of the 5-star CE, which just has the best art in this event coming out of it. And then, of course, Summer Musashi could give me my 10th unregistered Spirit Origin. So, no matter what, it's a win-win situation from all angles. So, I am going to roll. If I have to use all my cords and tickets, though, it's probably going to be not that worth it. But we'll see. Hopefully, Musashi, you see how big of a fan I am. I do have a shrine dedicated to you. I do have all your figures to date. And I did pre-order your Fate Samurai Remnant figure as well. So if I can't have your costume in-game, I will have it in real life, damn it. So let's go ahead and start off with a couple singles. Oh, man. I debated for about a week and a half if I wanted to do this. But the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, even if I do end up using all my quartz and all my tickets, if I at least get 1 copy of Summer Musashi, that again equates to 10 Usos, which I could trade for any 5-star of my choosing. So in a sense, I'm using all my quartz and tickets for a guaranteed SR later down the road, which in my opinion seems to be the smarter choice, especially since it's a win-win situation from all angles. Oh, okay, yeah, there's another copy of that. See, I think I need 2 more now. Nice. So if I can come out of this maximum breaking that, giving a couple copies of Yui and another copy of Summer Musashi, then that is obviously going to be very good for my current goals right now, because the next event should be Valentine's, and a lot of people think the Valentine's servant might be Typhon Ephemeris from the Ptolemaeus event from a couple months ago, which is very tempting because I really love her design. If you have never seen Typhon's design before, or you're not familiar with that event for some reason, you should look her up. She looks really nice. She's basically like a red-haired version of Melusine, kind of. Oh, Goldspin, probably Yui though. I'll be very surprised if it's like Summer Musashi already. That just shows that we have a bond beyond anyone else's bond. But it is another Yui, which is nice. I do want more copies of her. In my opinion, she's one of the best 4-star support servants in the game. She is limited though, so it's best to pick her up now while she's up. She's a decent Omni support. She's especially good if you want to support Iori. Very good synergy between the two. I did get my 4th copy of this. See, nice. Now we just need 1 more copy. And then if you could throw in a Summer Musashi in there, I'll be pretty happy. I'll be pretty happy with that, because, you know, worst case scenario, like I said, I might use all my quartz and tickets, which I really don't want to do. So I would like to come out of this with at least a couple hundred of my quartz still intact. I don't know about my tickets. My tickets are pretty low as it is. And yes, I probably could have rolled for the Ushi Gozen banner, so I could try to get her NP3 or more. But again, I'm looking at bigger picture here. If I get a 6 copy of Summer Musashi, I get a Uso, which I could then use on a later date on any 5-star of my choosing. So I think that's just smart. Okay, now I can maximum break this. Part of me kind of wants to stop, but you know, we gotta stay strong. We gotta stay strong. Summer Musashi, baby. Summer Musashi, let's go. Come on. Oh my gosh. No, I swear that was not scripted or anything. This is not edited in some way. That was genuine. Like, that just happened. That just happened. I asked for it and I received it. How you doing? How you doing, Musashi? Yo. Oh, wow. 1 multi-shot. That's great. That was a really good multi-shot. That was a really good multi-shot. That was incredible. Wow. We got Yui Shosets. We got 2 copies of the Musashi Craft Essence, which was all we needed left to max limit break it. And we got Summer Musashi. Oh my gosh. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, no gold spooks, no random gold CEs. And the only gold CE I got throughout this, like, 5 singles and this multi-shot was literally just the Musashi CE. I got 1 from single shot and 2 from the multi-shot. No, none of the 4-star event CEs, not even the 3-star event CE, I don't think. That's crazy. Wow, I didn't expect this roll session to be this short, but thank you Musashi, thank you Yui, thank you Gacha gods for looking out for me. See, if you come in with a positive outlook, with a positive attitude, you know, the game, the gods, whoever the hell you pray to, whether it be God, Satan, the devil, I don't care who you pray to, just don't, you know, send them after me if it's the devil, right? Either way, if you come in with a positive attitude, they will smile upon you and grant you good luck. And if you guys want S tier, God tier, protagonist luck like myself, then hit that like button, because if you hit the like button, you get EX luck for your gacha rolls for the foreseeable future. So it's free, you know. If you hit the like button, it's free. There's no subscription tied to it. Nice. I was not expecting that to be as quick as it was, but I appreciate it, Musashi. Thank you very much again to Musashi, Yui Shosets, and the Gacha gods for blessing me. So now we are left with 742 quartz and 19 tickets. Wow, just 1 multi-shot and 5 singles was the bare minimum needed. That's crazy. And like I said, this is my 10th unregistered Spirit Origin. Might as well take that quartz as well. So now when I take it, I can pretty much trade it for any 5-star of my choosing. Again, this is the first time I've ever been here. I'm not like the biggest whale in the world. I do spend in like paid banners, and I used to whale back in the day, but not anymore. So getting to 10th Usos is kind of a big deal for me for the first time. I know a lot of you guys probably have been here multiple millions of times already, but this is my first time, so I gotta save this. I gotta savor it. I gotta really pick and choose who I want as my 5-star later down the road. Right now, obviously I'm not gonna be using it right now, but I'm gonna be very smart with who I choose later down the road. Maybe like a female guild or proto guild, who knows, we will see. All right, thank you guys for watching. Again, like the video if you like it, dislike it if you are angry, then dislike it if you want, whatever. And comment down below, let me know what you think about not only my gacha rolls, but your overall thoughts on this Fate Samurai Remnant collaboration event. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Were you disappointed because there was a lack of costumes? There was a lack of other new servants outside of the first banner, and I guess by proxy the New Year's banner with Yamato Takeru. Are you excited for the Valentine servant? I guess additional questions. Who are your top, you know, picks or calls for who the Valentine servant might be? I'm thinking it might be Typhon, but honestly, it could be anybody. I got 742 quartz. I am good, but we'll see. I'll see you guys in the next one. Well, actually, no. Subscribe to become a supporting character to me, the main character, because without you guys, I'd be the only character, which would suck. All right. Now I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever I'll be. Probably the live stream for the Valentine's news. All right. Bye-bye.